Hey everybody, this is Stan Scott from Foggy Bottom Line Media. I got some text this week that maybe got me to thinking about a couple things, and I thought I'd do a quick video to discuss and ask for your help on something. Um, a lot of these texts are from congressional candidates here in the first congressional district in Virginia, uh, raising money, asking for fund, doing fundraising, normal candidate stuff. But the problem is that we have statewide elections and House of Delegate elections in Virginia here in 2025, and their races are a year away. So it got me to thinking about two things. First of all, maybe these national candidates whose election is more than a year away should pay attention to supporting the local candidates in their districts this year and help make sure Virginia elects Democrats at the state level and in the House of Delegates districts rather than focus on raising money this month. And also that I took a little bit of a look at how the Democratic Party doesn't seem to be supporting some of these candidates. And so I wanted to talk about that. First of all, I think that national candidates, they got to raise money and all that. And, Shannon Taylor just jumped in the race. She will have the support of the party, shouldn't have any trouble raising money. One of those texts came from her. And that's fine, except that I think that these candidates, as I said, should be focusing on helping local candidates in their district. At least one of these guys is doing that. I spoke with Salaam Bhatti a few weeks ago and mentioned this to him, and he took it to heart, went straight out and created an Act Blue page that would take donations for all of the House of Delegates candidates in his district, in the first congressional district. And it's called Salaam's List, and I'll post a link to that. So if you want to donate, you can, and I'll ask you to do that. Now, some of this money will go to Salaam, but he's also helping raise money for these folks. And I told him, help these guys get elected, and then they can help you next year when it's your turn, right? And I think the Shannon Taylors of the world ought to do the same thing. There's another group of people that can help these local candidates, and that is the elected officials in Virginia who already hold these seats, right? Especially in the Senate and the House races that are unopposed. They have money that they can use to support these races. Now, the issue is that all these races, or most of these races, are in red districts. These are districts that the party doesn't think anyone can win, a Democrat can win, so they don't think it makes sense to contribute to them. I disagree, because I think that because these guys are out there on the ground in a statewide election year, they're knocking on doors, they're on social media, they're putting up signs, they're talking to people, they're going to meet and greets, they're getting out the vote. And the vote they get out, the voters they turn out for their campaigns, will probably also support the statewide candidates on the blue side, which means they're doing a lot of groundwork for the statewide candidates. So if you're an Abigail Spanberger fan, you should want to support these guys. And every elected official in Virginia who's a Democrat should be an Abigail Spanberger fan, at least against Winsome Sears. It's difficult to overstate the epic disaster we would have in this Commonwealth if Winsome Sears is governor and somehow managed to get control of the legislature. If you think it's bad at the national level, wait until you see that at the Commonwealth level. So this is what we need to do. We have 16 candidates for the House of Delegates in Virginia who are unopposed. They're sitting on money, some of them with more than $1 million, some of them with more than $500,000. I think 9 or 10 of them have more than $50,000. They don't need this money for their own races. It makes no sense at all for them not to be supporting these candidates in other races. And they are, but they're only supporting the ones they think can win. But they should also be supporting these red district candidates because we need them too. We're not going to grow the majority unless we start winning elections in these districts that look like they're too red to win. We've got to figure out a way to do this, and that starts with money. So what I'm asking you to do, if you're listening to this, is if you know a legislator, a Virginia legislator who has money, who is sitting on a campaign chest, but doesn't have an opponent. I'm talking about Torian. I'm talking about Don Scott. A lot of these Northern Virginia candidates, the Senate candidates that don't have an election until 2027, they have 2.5 years before they have to run. They can donate to these candidates. Now, my good friend Fergie Reed, who is a civil rights icon in Virginia, just an icon. This guy's done a lot of work trying to make sure we have a candidate on the ballot in every district. And he successfully did that this year, even though the party pushed back a little bit. So we have a Democrat running in all 100 districts. 27 of these are in these red districts that nobody thinks we can win. So his good friend, Charles Gaba, set up what he calls the Value Pack 27, right? So it's an ActBlue page. You can go and donate to this Value Pack 27, and that money will be split among these 27 Democrats who are running in these hard races that may be difficult to win, but they're turning out the vote in these districts. So if you know, if you can yourself, or if you know someone who can, especially if you know one of these legislators, one of these candidates who is unopposed this year, ask them to contribute to this Value Pack 27. Go talk to people. Go write a check yourself. We need to support these Democrats. I ran for office twice in Virginia in very red districts that I had very little chance to win. So I know this from personal experience. It doesn't take a lot of money to mount a little bit of a campaign. When I ran for the House of Delegates in 2021, I pulled 12,000 votes in a very red district. 12,000 votes that probably went to Terry McAuliffe in his losing effort. So if we can get these guys a little bit of money for more signs, more direct mail, more postcards, more meet and greets, then we can help get out the vote, not only for them, but for the state party as well. That means Abigail Spanberger has a better chance to win. Ghazala Hashmi has a better chance to win. Jay Jones has a better chance to win. If Jay Jones is Attorney General, he'll push back on the Trump administration by filing lawsuits when they do things that violate the Constitution. Miyares won't do that. If Abigail Spanberger is governor, she will sign bills that make everyone in Virginia's life better. Winsome Sears will not. So we need to do everything we can. The Democratic Party needs to put the pedal to the metal. The national candidates, the congressional candidates next year need to put the pedal to the metal. We all need to do everything we can to get these folks elected and protect democracy, at least in Virginia, even if we have next year, even if our chance to protect it nationally doesn't come until next year. So my name is Stan Scott, Foggy Bottom Line Media. If you're listening to this, share it, comment, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Tell all your friends that we have to do everything we can to get these folks elected. Contribute to the Value Pack 27. Contribute to Salaam's list. And then after November 1st, once Abigail Spanberger's governor and we have the majority in the House of Delegates, then we can start focusing on the congressional races, because those will be very important too. First things first. This is Stan Scott signing off. Thanks. Until next time, we'll see you soon.